What's up, everybody? I'm GlitchxCity, and today we have a Pokemon Showdown replay because Showdown is being really stupid, and this way I can control how well Clamperl does in the video that I show you. So that is exciting. The only thing I'm really going to talk about before we get into the battle about the team is I'm going to say that this is a Trick Room team if you didn't notice. And anything else about the team I will do afterwards. I'll do like an afterwards team analysis. So yeah, now let's go ahead and get into the battle. So he's going to lead out with Pyroar, as I'm going to lead out with my Mesprit. This Mesprit is actually not running a minus speed nature because I want to be able to get off slow U-turns. He's going to taunt me, which is unfortunate. I guess he was expecting Stealth Rocks, but I go for Trick Room, and then that makes me upset. So I'm going to switch out into my Carbink now as he switches out into his Ninetales, because I switched out into Carbink because it walls Pyroar entirely. Whether or not he has Taunt, I still have Stone Edge, so I'd be able to kill it. Now, right here, I know Ninetales doesn't carry Taunt, so he's going to be able to do whatever. I expected an Energy Ball. He actually goes for a Will-O-Wisp, though, and that means I get off my Trick Room. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch out into my Mesprit, because I still want to be able to get off a slow U-turn into Clamperl, especially in case he's still carrying Energy Ball. I do not want Clamperl to just die like that. So he's unfortunately going to switch out into his Dusclops, or no, sorry, he goes for a Sunny Day. Next turn, he switches out into his Dusclops, though, as I'm going to go ahead and go for a U-turn. So that means that I get a free switch into whatever I want. I'm not going to go into Clamperl now because I know that Dusknoir is going to live a hit from Clamperl, so I'm going to go out into my Aurorus, and I can easily 2-hit KO this, as well as I have a significant amount more bulk than Clamperl does, so I do not have to worry about dying to whatever, unless he has, like, Brick Break, but I don't see that happening, so he does switch out as he goes out into his Seismitoad, and right here, I'm going to do a huge amount of damage with a Tri-Attack, and unfortunately, I get the Paralysis. And that means that he's going to be able to get off a hit. Now, at the time, I wasn't thinking about this, so I wasn't worried about it, but he ends up going for Stealth Rocks, so it doesn't matter. Had he gone for Earthquake, this could have been a different game, but he didn't, so we're all good. I'm going to go for another Tri-Attack and kill him off there. I could have gone for a Freeze Dry there, because I do carry it, but there would be no reason to do that, considering he could have switched out, and then just something would have taken less damage than, a lot less damage than if I had just gone straight for a Tri-Attack, or Nature Power, or whatever. He goes out into Lilligant here, and I'm going to switch out in my Gourgeist, because that means I can take whatever hit, and then I can set up Trick Room again, so I'm not really worried about anything Lilligant can do to me, unless it's carrying HP Fire, and even then I can just get a free switch into, I don't know, and set up my Trick Room with that. So, he's going to switch out here, as I'm going to get off my free Trick Room. He's going to go out into Archeops. Archeops is actually not that worrying to me, because in Trick Room, I can easily go ahead and just go straight for a Seed Bomb and lower it below half, so I'm not worried. I do go for the Seed Bomb. It does a significant amount, and he's going to get back his Citrus Berry, which is super annoying. He is running the offensive set, which is a lot better than lead Archeops, but whatever. He goes for a knockoff here. He's going to take away my leftovers. That's not really an issue, because that just means that I will not have any recovery. I wasn't really planning on using Gourgeist for too much else this battle anyways, so I wasn't too broken up about him living that. Or going for a knockoff, whatever. He goes out into Dusknoir now, which means I get a free Destiny Bond off, so long as he doesn't go for Shadow Sneak. He ends up going for Payback, which is questionable, but hey, what can you do? Not my set. So Dusknoir is going to go down with my Gourgeist, which is fantastic, and that means I get a free switch into whatever I want, and I'm going to go into Clamperl, because I can easily OHKO everything he has left on his team. He ends up going out into Ninetales, which means I get a free Surf off, and unfortunately that's the last turn of Trick Room, so that's the only thing I'm going to be able to kill in this round. So that means that Ninetales is going to go down super easily, and I'm going to switch out now because I do not want Clamperl to go down to Lilligant. Lilligant is a huge threat, though, because I don't really have anything to be Sleep Fodder. Fortunately, I do not believe he's carrying Sleep Powder. As far as I know, he's carrying Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, Quiver Dance, and then another Hidden Power, because he never went for a Sleep move. I'm going to Mega Evolve right now, because that'll make me bulkier, and I'm going to go ahead and just get off a Trick Room this turn, because that means he'll be slow, and that means I can potentially switch it into something else, take a hit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sack off my Carbink, because that means that, or I'm going to try to, at least as he goes for a Quiver Dance, that means I get a free switch into Aurorus, which can kill Lilligant. Sorry about that voice crack. So now he's going to go for a Giga Drain and kill me off, but not before I go for a Stone Edge, which is pretty insignificant because he's just going to go for a Giga Drain and recover all of his health off, which is unfortunate. 1 second, sorry. Sorry about that, I just had like a serious like coughing fit. I don't know how to describe it, but it was horrible, and you guys didn't want to hear that, so I had to pause the video. Alright, let's continue. After he goes for the Giga Drain and kills my Carbink, that means I get a free switch into Aurorus, and Aurorus can go ahead and go straight for the Tri-Attack. Now, if you remember earlier from the Frisk, he actually does have a Focus Sash, which means he's gonna live this, but that's not really an issue, because that just means Clamperl gets even more kills, as he's gonna go for a Giga Drain here and kill me off. And my phone is buzzing. Great. So, now I'm gonna switch out into Carbink, or not Carbink, wow. Clamperl, obviously, because Clamperl is the only thing that I want to get a kill, and two, it might be the only thing that can get a kill. I guess Mesper could have gotten it. I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam. Unfortunately, he had a lot of special defense boosts. If he didn't have both of those, I could have killed him off with a Surf, just in case he switched into Pyroar. Now he's gonna go out into his Pyroar, and that means I'm gonna switch out into my Mesprit. I was originally sacking this, but I can live it because he is actually Taunt instead of Specs, so there's that. So, he's going to go for a Hyper Voice here, and I'm going to go for a Trick Room, or no, sorry, he goes for a Hyper Voice as I switch in, he goes for another Hyper Voice. This turn I go for a Trick Room, because that means that Clamperl can get the kill. I probably could have just killed this with Mesprit, but like, it's Clamperl. You can't just not get as many kills as possible with Clamperl. So he's going to kill off Mesprit now, which means that I get a free switch into Clamperl, and I can just finish this thing off with a Surf. So that was a pretty fun battle. Now, I'll give you it wasn't the most competitive, but come on, it's a Trick Room team with Clamperl. You can't be angry at this. It's the best thing ever. Yeah, alright, let's just go into the team analysis now. See you guys in a sec. Okay, so now we're going to have a more in-depth look at the team and see how all of it works and what everything does and stuff like that. So, first off, we have Clamperl. Obviously, like I said, it's carrying the Deep Sea Tooth. Only reason why it even works at all. Ability Shell Armor, because Rattled isn't really helpful. You don't want to take hits with this anyways. Surf, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Grass, because those are all just for coverage, obviously. And then we have Substitute, which can alternatively be switched out for Brine. And if you don't know, Brine hits twice as hard when the opponent is below half, and you use that for stuff like Licky Licky, because then you have a 180 base water type move when it's under, or 130, sorry, when it's under half, and then you can easily take it out from there. I'm running Substitute though to avoid Sucker Punches, and on the last turn of Trick Room, what I can do with with Substitute is I can go ahead and sub up if they're gonna switch out. And then I can appropriately go for Surf, Ice Beam, or Hidden Power Grass on whatever they switch out into. That just means I get a free move outside of Trick Room, basically, in case I don't know what they're going to switch out into. Yeah, so that's what Clamperl does. He kills things. He has a lot of special attack. Yeah, he has like, what, freaking 540 special attack. That's a lot. Okay, so next we have Mega Audino. Mega Audino is just my Spadef wall with Trick Room. It's one of the only super good Spadef walls that gets Trick Room in NU. So I was like, hey, let's use it. And then I ran Wish and Heal Bell for support, obviously, and then Dazzling Gleam just because I wanted some attacking move on here. Although I guess I could have run Protect over that for Wish, but I'm not about that life. Next, we have Mesprit. Like I said, Mesprit is not running a minus speed with nature, and it's actually running full IVs, because I want Mesprit to be able to get off slow U-turns in Trick Room, so I can get a free switch into Clamperl, and then Clamperl can kill things without having to take prior damage from switching in. Max HP, max attack, and I'm running a Colberberry for the knockoff spam in basically every tier. Not that I use this in any tier outside of NU, but you get the point. I'm just saying there's knockoff spam everywhere, so that's why I'm running Colberberry. Zen Headbutt, U-turn, and knockoff for coverage, and then U-turn for free switches into other stuff. And then Trick Room, because Trick Room. Next, we have Aurorus. I'm running a Life Orb because I didn't want to run Specs on this, seeing as I want to switch moves quite often, so there's that. I'm running Sub pretty much this time just to avoid Sucker Punches, as well as to get behind Sub to avoid statuses and stuff like that. So, not really as good of a reason for Clamperl, but there's that, as well as I don't really need any other sort of coverage here. The only other thing it gets really is like psychic, considering freeze dry covers Thunderbolt's effectivenesses. That's not a word, but you get the point. Life Orb because I can't run specs, refrigerate because refrigerate. Now, I'm running Nature Power instead of Hyper Voice on this so I can avoid Sucker Punches as well, because a lot of people don't know that's how it works, for one, and for two, it's really helpful, so there's that. And then Earth Power and Freeze Dry are for coverage. Next, we have Carbink. Carbink is my physically defensive thing. Trick Room, and then Toxic. I'm running Stone Edge because I need another physical attacker, as well as there are a lot of things that Carbink can actually hit pretty hard with Stone Edge, despite him only having base 50 attack. He can still hit certain fire types really hard that aren't expecting to be hit by Carbink at all. And then, yeah, the other things are pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have a Gourgeist Super. I'm running this because it's the slowest of the Gourgeists. And then Frisk, because it's the only good ability it really gets. Leftovers, because leftovers. And then I'm running Offensive, because I don't need another defensive wall, and I wanted something to hit pretty hard. I'm running Seed Bomb, Shadow Snake, Destiny Bond, and Trick Room. Seed Bomb and Shadow Snake coverage, Destiny Bond, because that way I'll outspeed things, and Trick Room would be able to get off a Destiny Bond, and then Trick Room because Trick Room. So that is a look at the team. I hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously not the best team, but it's really fun to use, especially since people see Clamperl and they're just like, what is this guy doing? And then you wreck their life with Clamperl and kill like 4 things with it, and they're just like, oh, my life is over. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.